Coming up next on Good Morning El Paso, 2 serious wrecks overnight, one of them deadly. Traffic is being affected. We have your around-the-clock coverage. Plus,
you think that you know your neighbors, but you really don't know what goes inside.
Neighbors in an East El Paso neighborhood are left with questions as to why a father would kill his own daughter and then himself. The latest on this murder-suicide investigation.
And we're also learning more about the shooting at a cartoon contest in Texas. Investigators are now turning up some chilling new details.
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC7's Good Morning El Paso.
If you are just joining us, 2 serious crashes overnight, one of them deadly.
The first happened before 3 this morning on the 9700 block of Dyer in northeast El Paso, right between Rushing and Trans Mountain.
Police tell us it was a rollover. 2 people were taken to the hospital. They have not given us any more information at this point, but we do know special traffic investigators are still on the scene.
And then less than an hour later, another crash, this one turning deadly on Montana and Joe Battle.
Good morning, I'm Stephanie Valle.
And I'm Floren. We'll get to weather in a moment, but first our round-the-clock coverage right now, beginning with the latest crash.
It left one person dead around 3 this morning, and round-the-clock reporter Denise Olivas has been on the scene all morning, gathering details, and she's live with the latest. Denise.
Good morning, Stephanie and Hillary. We are still here at the intersection of Montana and Joe Battle, where traffic is still continuing to pick up. As you can see right here, the traffic's moving smoothly right now. But as we see more people heading out the door, it's starting to really get congested in this area. And that's because the drivers here on Montana who are trying to head north on Loop 375 are not allowed. You see that police unit there blocking traffic, blocking the entrance to Loop 375 north. And those drivers who are already heading north on Loop 375 are being forced to exit Montana Avenue, which is causing this congestion here at this intersection. Of course, this comes after the early morning wreck that killed one person, and we know that a second person was taken to a local hospital. The other details we don't know. Police are not releasing other information, but we do know that a portion of Loop 375 is closed off right now. And if you're heading from northeast El Paso and trying to get to the far east side, that's also going to be a traffic headache this morning because the drivers are being forced to divert onto Iron Medics Drive and back to Global Reach. So if you're headed out in either direction, it is you should leave with plenty of time to take those detours. And as soon as we get more information on the wreck itself and any more traffic alerts, we'll pass them along here on Good Morning El Paso. For now, we're live in far east El Paso. Denise Olivas, ABC7.
Okay, thank you, Denise.
Let's take a live look at traffic right now at 6:03. This is a live look at where that accident is. You can see it there in the upper right portion of your screen. Other than that, though, traffic is moving smoothly on the interstate throughout the borderland. It's looking good.
And let's take you now to a live look from on top of the Franklin Mountains this Wednesday morning, courtesy of our ABC7 Mountain Cam. You can see that the sun is just starting to get above the horizon. Not quite yet. It's not sunrise, but you can see that the post there right in front of the camera is starting to sway a bit in that breeze.
It's going to warm up and get a little windier, isn't it, Crystal?
That is right. Today's forecast, I think, actually looks really nice out there because we're talking plenty of sunshine and warming temperatures today. We will have the winds to deal with. Right now, though, they're not an issue. Just 6 miles per hour coming out of the south, and we're at a temperature of 62 degrees. Great start to the morning in El Paso. For Las Cruces, a 10-degree difference. 52 where we're at right now. Winds are at 10 miles per hour in Las Cruces, and those winds will be picking up later on today. We're talking gusts up to 35 miles per hour. Clouds and radar map. Few clouds around Silver City. Otherwise, it's a clear forecast to start off our day all across the board, and that's going to be the case lasting throughout today and actually the next several days. Speaking of which, we'll look at that temperature trend, see if there's any big ups or downs in just a few minutes.
Okay, thank you, Crystal. Neighbors in an East El Paso community are still asking, why would a father shoot his daughter before turning the gun on himself? Police say 51-year-old Ramon Nevares shot 14-year-old Emily Nevares before taking his own life. This happened yesterday morning on the 11,600 block of Spencer in East El Paso. ABC7 has confirmed the teenager attended Eastwood Middle School. Grief counselors will be on hand the next couple of days to help anyone who needs to talk about what happened. But for now, neighbors are trying to make sense of what happened.
Just don't try to go that way. I mean, there's a lot of life to go, a lot of time that, I mean, that is not the answer for all. Just you have to be strong enough to keep going and not try to, hurt your family and other members.
Although police normally handle the criminal side of domestic violence, they can refer people to specialists who can help. The Center Against Sexual and Family Violence also has a 24-hour helpline. The number is right there on your screen. It is 915-593-7300.
Police are clarifying their reports of 2 gunmen from that shooting outside a downtown bar on Sunday, now saying 21-year-old Alejandro Sandoval was the only shooter. He's charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and bonded out of jail yesterday. The complaint affidavit states Sandoval shot one of the bouncers, Jesus Gutierrez, outside Tres Mentiras. Gutierrez was trying to break up a fight between Sandoval and another man, but when witnesses tackled Sandoval, he dropped the gun and another person picked it up and accidentally fired it, wounding 26-year-old Esmeralda Najera. She was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. Police will not file charges against the accidental shooter. New information is coming out about the Sunday night shooting in Garland, Texas. While ISIS has claimed responsibility for the attack, White House officials aren't sure the terrorist group is to blame. But officials do say the attack fits with a pattern of ISIS recruitment, using social media to encourage sympathizers to attack. The FBI recently opened a new investigation when one of the gunmen, Elton Simpson, began communicating with terrorists overseas. He and his friend were still able to drive to Texas from Phoenix, Arizona, though, to attempt that attack.
This is where capacity bumps up against the reality of what's going on with terrorism right now, which is membership. And the notion of membership is simply, do you have an iPad? Do you have access to the cloud? Okay, you're a member of ISIS if you choose to be.
The FBI searched the apartment of the 2 gunmen in Phoenix but didn't find much. Investigators did retrieve a hard drive, which is now being scrubbed for information.
At 6:07, were you one of the fans who felt ripped off by Saturday's fight between Mayweather and Pacquiao?
If so, you weren't alone. In fact, 2 men are now suing.
It was a money grab, and they hit it to try to make as much money as possible.
Both Pac-Man and Mayweather facing lawsuits today. We're going to tell you why.
Also, some food vendors at Southwest University Park say they have yet to receive a paycheck after working dozens of games. ABC 7 gets to the bottom of it.
And meteorologist Crystal Cly says it's going to be a nice day as long as you like it warm and a little on the windy side.
Warm and windy. The 2 days we are looking at, day after day rather, those conditions. We'll talk about when it lets up after your break.
Thanks, Crystal. This is ABC 7, where news comes first.